Hello, this is Andrew with Central Missouri Collectibles, and welcome back to a new video. Today, I'm going to be going over about $800 in new coin purchases that I made over the weekend at local coin shops in St. Louis. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start first here with the graded coins. I was able to pick up a couple of Rattlers. The first one here being a 1921 Philadelphia Morgan dollar in MS64. Now this one was pretty reasonable. I should be able to make about $20 profit on it after fees on eBay. And up next I had a 1958 Franklin half dollar proof 65, also housed in a Rattler holder. Should be able to make about $20 to $30 on eBay after fees on that one. And last for the graded holders in this episode, we've got a 1949S MS63, and it is in a nice genie lamp holder from the A&A grading company, which later became Anax. So those are some good graded coin purchases. Now let's go ahead and get into the U.S. coins. I was able to pick up a 61.0 half dollar, a 1914S wheat cent, a 1934 wheat cent, a 1930D wheat. We've got an 1852 braided hair large cent, and then a super damaged 1835 half dime. Still a decent deal on that one. We've got a 1907 barber quarter with fine details, and then a 16D barber quarter with also fine details. This one was a pretty interesting coin. It's a 1956 Roosevelt dime with some nice rainbow toning. Unfortunately, you can't really see it in this lighting, but I'll try to get a good picture of it for eBay. All right, next we had a few Jefferson nickels that were uncirculated, a couple 47Ds, and then a 38, which could actually be AU, but it looks pretty nice and original. So those were the U.S. coin purchases. And during this trip, I went to 3 different coin shops in order to purchase inventory, and I was able to get something at every shop, so that was a good thing. Moving on to the foreign here, we've got a 1978 $5 from Belize. It's just a nice crown-size coin, not silver, but still pretty neat. And then we've got a 1978 $1 from Belize, another proof coin. All right, we were able to pick up a 1922 un peso from Mexico, a 1917 Australian shilling. And for most of these silver coins, I was able to pick them up for 90% of melt. So that was a pretty good deal at one shop that I went to. Here's an 1882 Mexico 5 centavos, and 1841 Hanover 1/24th taller. Pretty neat with the horse on there. Here's an 1848 4 pence from England, and 1898 half franc from Switzerland. Here's a 1757 shilling from Hamburg, Germany. And 1829 1 Pfennig from Prussia. Now this could be a super rare coin. I was not able to find any comps online for the 1 Pfennig, but the 4 Pfennig seems to be quite a bit more popular and available. Here we've got a 1938 50 dinara from Yugoslavia. I just don't see this type super often at all, so I picked it up. I won't make a ton of money on that one, but that's okay. And then this was a good deal. I was able to get this 8 real for about $55. And it should be worth around $140. We'll see if we can get that with the damage on there. But it did test positive on a Sigma for being 90% silver. And that just proves its authenticity. And I did get a picture of that, so I'll be able to include that in the eBay listing. So that definitely adds to that coin. And we've got a 1971 50 cent silver coin from the Bahamas, a nice proof. We've got a 1944 50 centavos from Mexico in uncirculated or AU condition. We've got a Moroccan 200 francs from 1953. Just a nice coin. Morocco coins always seem to do pretty well for me. And I was able to get a pair of 1937 Dominican 25 centavos, which are a silver coin. For some reason, the owner of the shop didn't think they were silver, so he sold me them for $1 a piece. So that was a good deal. Then we've got a 1945 Un Bolivar from Venezuela. And then rounding it off with some smaller coins here, we've got a 1942 10 centavos from the Dominican, a 1945 10 centavos from Colombia, and then an English sixpence from 1889. Today we're going to be going over about $800 in new coin purchases from local coin shops and from auction. So let's go ahead and get started. First up here, we've got a 2018 American Silver Eagle MS70 First Strike, graded by PCGS, and it's in a doily like holder, which actually makes this one more expensive. I think putting this one around $160 or so. We'll see if we can get that with the doily holder. Up next, we've got a 1943 Steel Cent, graded NGC MS65. And it is in the old fatty holder, and it's a sample slab. So that makes this one also more expensive than normal. I think this one's probably around $120 or so, but I may be wrong on that. We'll have to see. And up next, we've got a couple Anax coins here. Starting out, we've got an 1883 AU55 Liberty Head V-nickel with no cents. Just a nice old V-nickel. And then we've got a 2-cent piece here, an 1865 graded AU50, and it's in the old soapbox holder. So that's a pretty good find there. All right, moving on, I have some items from Whatnot here. A few of them are not really too valuable. A 1918 10 Pfennig. This one was just thrown into a lot. Here we've got a 2-cent piece. This one's an 1864. And then here we've got a Guatemalan coin. Let me go ahead and take it out of the holder so we can see the other side, because it's all covered up with the sticker. All right, we should be able to see the date there. It's an 1893 quarter real from Guatemala. A pretty nice coin. And then the last one was just a Japanese coin that was also just thrown in. All right, up next here, we've got some purchases from a local coin shop, including these 3 8 reals. Here is a 1794 Mexico City 8 reals with 1 Chopmark on there. And then I was able to get an 1808 8 reals with a Chopmark as well. This one is also Mexico City. And then finally for these, I've got an 1808 with lots of Chopmarks, and this one is out of Spain, or no, Peru, Lima, Peru. All right, so a good group of 3 8 reals there. And then at the same shop, I was able to get this bag of barber and seated coinage. So we'll go ahead and go through this stuff. We've got a 1902 Philadelphia barber dime. We've got an 1895 O barber quarter. A 1900 Philadelphia barber dime. An 1899 Philly. Next, we've got a Philadelphia 1899 dime and an 1895 Philly quarter. Here's an 1893 Philadelphia dime, a 1908 O barber dime. This one's a 1905 S, and then another New Orleans here, 1903. Here we've got a 1912 Philadelphia and a 1916 Philly. Up next, a 1910 P, and then a 1908. And then we've got an 1853 seated quarter with arrows and rays from Philadelphia, an 1894 barber dime, a 1903 Philadelphia barber dime, a 1900 barber quarter, an 1899 barber quarter, and then the last one here is an S-minted 1905. So nice little group of barber items there with 1 seated quarter. And then last, I was able to get this lot off of auction. It includes a bunch of wheat pennies, and this one right here, which was the main item in the lot, an 1810 Classic Head Large Cent, and it does have some reverse off-center dies, which is pretty interesting. 1810 Classic Head, definitely an environmental damage. But let's go ahead and see if there's any good wheat cents here. If not, I'll speed up the footage. Oh, there's some steel ones in here. That's kind of interesting. But doesn't look like any better dates so far, at least. There's a 1926. So that's the oldest one in here so far. There's a 36, a 45. There's a 1916. That one's in decent shape, actually. Not too bad for a 1916. And then just a random memorial penny in here as well. So, interesting group of wheat cents there. Nothing really spectacular. But I hope you guys enjoyed the kind of hodgepodge video today, just going over all of the different items from auctions and from a local coin shop. Alrighty, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, getting to see all the new pickups from my weekend trip to St. Louis. And I hope to see some of you guys purchasing these items on my eBay, which is Central Missouri Collectibles, or my Whatnot show, which is under the same username. Have a great day.